Alright, good morning world. I've been trying the plastic the last couple days. If there's any wind, it blocks it. But I found that because I end up sleeping with my head under the covers trying to keep warm, I'm blowing moisture. And I've got frost in there now. And the bag is kind of wet because it's not breathing because it's got the plastic around it. So, not quite ideal. I'm just a little bit under prepared for cold weather, I guess. But 6:55, there's their sunrise, so yeah. Mostly it's cold right now. Starkly beautiful, not a cloud in the sky. That looks kind of cool. Oops. Had about a half a moon last night. That was up quite late, so sorry, I can't hold still right now. Yeah. Anyway, the good thing about the desert is it will warm up pretty quick, so looking forward to that. All right, 7:15. Here comes the horses. They probably bed down in the valley over there, keep warm a little bit more. They didn't stay up here very long last night. They got a drink, ate a little bit of the greenery, and then left again. So, yeah. I got things a little bit spread out. There's still frost in the bag, and there was frost on the sleeping bag too, so I got it on the bike where the sun can hit it a little bit. I'll turn it over in a little while, trying to keep it out of the dirt or sand or whatever. Every time I pick things up, I'm shaking it out, and I set up camp the next day, and sure enough, something else falls out. So no sense taking extra scenery with you, I guess. Probably be 8 o'clock before I leave. Forecast is for virtually no wind at all today, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, last night was cold. A couple times I put on 2 pair of socks, and that worked out really well. I forgot last night, so I think your feet are a little bit damp from, I usually end up not changing socks every day like I should, but trying to cut down on laundry. I don't have a full week's worth of clothes really, so it will warm up. I'm like, oh, it's cold, but it's like it's gonna be in the 70s today, and I saw 80s a couple days in the future on the 10-day forecast, so yeah, we'll get there. I knew that was gonna be the case. It's like I was underpacked for cold weather, but I'm hoping to get out of it quick. And then we'll be okay. But there was always that lingering fear of what if I got caught in a snowstorm or something like that. Then we'd be in trouble. But the 10-day forecasts when I left looked so promising, but I didn't move fast enough. All right, start getting ready, I guess. Okay, about 8:40 in the morning. It's actually warm. I stayed a little longer just waiting for the frost to melt off of my sleeping bag. The plastic bag I had around the sleeping bag, when I shook it, just big flakes of frost fell out of the inside. So just wanted to get a close-up of that. With the angle of the sun, we really see the detail and the textures. Pretty cool. There's another lone spire, kind of like the shiprock out there. It's just so weird.
I've heard them called tabletops. You know, it's just this flat with sharp cliffs all the way around it, and some of them are pretty big, but some really aren't. It's just weird that the way the deposits are, the erosion. We've gone maybe half a mile. I just had to stop and get a shot. Okay, now we can go. We've gone 5 miles so far. And yeah, the sand is still pretty red. It's just so cool. One more time. Got close enough to see the details. Also, there's that trailer house in the foreground for scale. How cool would it be to have that in your backyard? There's like a circular hole outline punched into the side of that hill. I mean, if it was a meteorite, it would have exploded the hill. That looks like a cover shot. These are the little ones. I don't know how well it's going to show up looking right into the sun here. You can see the silhouettes there. Thousands of years, a little bit of rain, a whole lot of wind, maybe some blowing dust. Instant masterpiece. Kind of changing phases here, it looks like. So that's the forward. And we got 2 rocks there. And there's kind of one behind that house. And one there. And then in the distance, we got the reds again. It's like an iceberg. I could only see the top before. Wow. All right, it's about 12:30. Stopped for a lunch break. Got some Burger King, a bunch of root beer to keep me going. While I was here, little grocery store down there sadly did not have Cliff Bars, but I did find granola bars. Not quite as good, but it'll get me there. There is, this is Kayenta, Keynta or something like that. I got a screenshot of the map. It's a really beautiful area. This is where a lot of the red rocks and stuff are. I think it's over there. There was a code talker exhibit. Really got to get moving, so I'm not going to take the time to look at it, but the idea was World War II, the U.S. Army recruited the Navajos as radio operators, and the Japanese were never able to break the code. So they would be talking in Navajo language, and the Japanese had no idea what was going on. So there was a movie made about it a few years back. So apparently this is the area where some of them came from. Pretty cool. Anyway, On this trip, I do not have the luxury of exploring everything that's interesting, unfortunately. Maybe in the future. So. Pretty nice. Okay, to be sure, the Grand Canyon is more, but this has got a lot of the same feel. You know, so just amplify it, make it bigger, and you got the Grand Canyon. If the Grand Canyon was near my route, I don't think I would go again, just because of how much traffic and people were jammed into that one little spot. They've been working the field down there. And some horses. I was just looking, I was like, how do they even get to that? There's a road cut down, angled across, then they go across the water and angle up the other side. That is crazy. Pretty cool. Days like today, I honestly don't know if I'm just tired or if it's the altitude. I'm about 6,400 feet now. I just haven't been able to push very hard today, it seemed like. So I was wondering, it's like, well, you know, am I still recovering from the windy days, or am I just burned out, or, you know. Okay, I'm gonna call it 3:30 and I'm done for the day. I'm tired. So I find this little 2-track, I mean, we're just off the road, but it had the requirement. It's like some parts of the fence are really close to the road and some parts are quite a ways back. So here we are pretty far back. Trees give me a little bit of sound deadening and they look nice. For now, I'm leaned up against the fence to get a charge. I kept pulling the batteries down, but what I realized, I mean, I kind of knew it, but I was being impatient, I think. I was trying to make up time, and I kept blowing through the battery too fast, so then I'd have to stop and let it charge. I did 39 miles today, so that's a little short, but the little graph that the GPS shows you, I climbed about 1,000 feet total in that 39 miles. All right, I guess that's it for now. I sat down on the army cot and was editing this, and I fell asleep, woke up an hour and a half later. I guess I was tired after all. So it's almost 7 o'clock now, starting to cool off. I was in the shade for a little bit and it got too cold, so I dragged it back out in the sun, warmed up again. So anyway, yeah, it's like I said, it's almost 7 o'clock now. I don't think I've got enough signal tonight to upload this, so I got about 20 miles, I think, and then I turn north on, I don't remember, Highway 198 or 98 maybe, up towards Page. I should get some signal when I hit the other highway though. Hopefully. If not, I'll be in Page in a couple days and I'll upload the video then. Yeah. I knew this was going to happen eventually. I'd run out of signal, but it lasted a lot longer than I thought I would. So, for all I know, if I moved a mile, I would probably get it again. Anyway, as always, thanks for all the support. You guys are really helping to keep the wheels rolling, so I do appreciate it. Let's not forget the reason I'm doing this in the first place is the veterans that we're losing every day. So if you know anybody who served that might be having a hard time, check in on them, and hey, maybe go for a bike ride. All right, that's it for now.